Second floor of the museum has European and American art along with a collection of contemporary art.
This is a Japanese artist in 1959. This is Spring. It's very nice. And here's another one by the same artist. The use of color is quite interesting. What we saw before were all Canadian artists. Upstairs, this is Flemish, about 1640. Tons of detail. View of Venice by Canaletto. And here's the Rialto Bridge in the background. 1740 to 60. This is the Arsenal in Venice. We've been right there, looked at those lions. Oh, there's the winged lion, the symbol of St. Mark. Here's the Doge's Palace, the Campanile, and there's the winged lion of St. Mark. Piazza doesn't look quite like this anymore, but there's the Basilica of San Marco. And this is all fancy restaurants now. This was in the mid-1700s by Canaletto. So there's St. Mark's. And up here is the clock tower. And that's still there, about the same. This is the Church of Santa Maria della Salute in the mid-1700s again. And this is the Grand Canal. Little gondolas. This is the old-fashioned kind. They outlawed these covered gondolas for some reason, but we've got lots of the other kind here. This is Ignatius Sancho, 1768, by Thomas Gainsborough, another British artist. He was born in 1729 on a slave ship, taken to England as a young child, became a writer and a composer. This is Thomas Gainsborough, mid-1700s. It's a typical landscape style of Gainsborough. This is from Sussex. Lots of natural elements. There's a nice house up there. Mohawk chief, known as Joseph Brant, his Mohawk name means two sticks of wood together, as meant strength. He obviously supported Indian rights. He went to England to get support from the British. This was given to him by King George III. It's called a Gorget. He was a captain in the British military. I can recognize this one by Benjamin West. This is the death of General Wolfe. He's the British commander and died, and the French General Montcalm also died at the battle. He exhibited this in London, and the realism was something new. This is a midsummer afternoon with a Methodist preacher by Philip Luthenberg. The Methodist ministers couldn't use the churches, so they preached in the countryside. This is Salisbury Cathedral by John Constable, 1820. This is Jean-Francois Millet. It's called The Pig Killers. In the fall, most of the pigs got slaughtered to feed people through the winter. The guy's pushing from behind. And a woman's got some food, trying to get him to come this way. Oh, and there's the slab where he's going to get killed. This is Edward Degas at a cafe, Neil Pissarro, haymaking. In 1901, Alfred Sisley, washerwomen near Champaign. This is Pissarro, stone bridge in Rouen in dull weather in 1896. Cezanne Road at Auvers-sur-Oise, 1873. Road to Hermitage, Pontoise, 1875. Same area, Paul Gauguin, some quarries near Pontoise, 1882. We have a Monet here. Bank of some river, 1867. This is Monet. Waterloo Bridge. Yeah, there is a bridge there. The effect of sunlight in the fog, 1902. Pretty cool. This is Renoir's third son, Claude, with the maid, 1903. He did a lot of pictures of his family members. This is interesting. It's done by a German artist, Otto Grenier. And it's Prometheus, 1909, but look at the big, strong Prometheus up there. And a little man down here. There's 3 Van Gogh floral arrangements here, mid-1800s. But the third one, I can't take a picture of. The guard told me it might be because they're rented and not owned by the museum. This is a nude on a yellow sofa, 1926 by Henri Matisse. Pablo Picasso, The Small Table, in 1919. In this room, we have 3 camels. Mondrian, composition number 12 with blue. Here we have Marc Chagall, Memories of Childhood, in 1924. Looks like we've got somebody up here on the roof, but he's not a fiddler. Marc Chagall grew up in an area that is now Belarus. This is a female by Pablo Picasso. This is Paul Nash, seen in World War I, called Void. This is in 1918, at the end of the war. This is called Night Bombardment, also by Paul Nash. The Beaches of Dunkirk in May of 1940. Thousands of soldiers were picked up by the British on the beaches of Dunkirk and taken to England. Otherwise, the war would have been over real soon. It's called a triptych. Would have been in a church, and it opens up. This one's from 1370. This is by Rembrandt. He lived in the 1600s. It's a heroine from the Old Testament.